Whoa!
Looks like to be a little bit shorter though.
Yep. Hello. Hello. And welcome to Love Lazy Day Conversations. I'm Candace.
Shonda.
Oh. What is with this mood at the moment? Okay, Autumn. That's exactly what she be doing. Oh my God! Shut up! Hold your arm up. Homely.
Wait a minute. Okay.
Don't die. Come back to me.
And you know how when you the food be about to go down to you, and then it go down, you be like, what? Bring it back up. Y'all, I got my dog behind this little pen. And it has enough room for where her little nose, it's like this much space, and she has enough room for her little nose to get there. And she puts.
She got her face propped up on it's like a little bar. They go across, so she got her head resting on that, and her nose and her little tongue out. So she like.
Paisley.
She will be okay.
Honey.
She can't be separated.
She can't be separated from her sweet mommy. She loves her mommy. She does. Sweetness.
Mm-hmm. So, Shonda, what are we talking about today?
So, let's talk about sex education.
Are we talking about a taboo topic?
And we reline them up right now. What? Cause we supposed to go talk about death, and now we're talking about. Now we're talking about sex education. Oh, honey.
Okay, so what you want to talk about? Because we gotta keep this very PG.
We gonna keep PG, maybe a little 13. No, just PG. Just PG. I was just playing.
Maybe PG-13. So what do you want to talk about?
But
like the difficulties in conversation.
Do you feel like your parents were nervous talking to you? Oh, first of all, let's back up. Did you have sex education with your parents, or did you have sex education at school? Like, what was it?
It was at school, but I think my parents opted out for me to go because I remember sitting in the cafeteria when they were doing that class, and it was weird because I was a very like never want to grow up type of kid. So I remember them attempting to talk to me about it, and I was like, "Oh, I'm too young to hear this. I'm too young. I didn't want to hear about it."
You was 18. They was like, "Oh, I'm too young."
No, I was a kid at the first attempt. When I got older, it was. I don't know if it was even talked about when I think about it.
Oh, I'm talking not for you. I'm talking. Go ahead.
I can't remember. It's very vague, that conversation. I think they kind of did. But if they did, I don't remember the details of it. I feel like it was a very uncomfortable topic.
For who? You or your parents, or for both?
I feel like for both. Just because it was questions, but I felt very weird asking my mom and dad, "Hey, what is that?" Like, you'll hear stuff in school, and you'll be like, "What is this?" What I wound up doing is asking the folks in school when they would say, "Oh, so and so we're doing da 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 da." I'll be like, "What is that?" And they would be like, "How you don't know?" And I'll be like, "Cause I ain't nasty."
Well, see, Ken, you was better than me, so I was like, I'm not finna be seeing like I just don't know nothing. And I was like, "Oh, child, oh my goodness," and then I'd be like,
see, I didn't know, and I wasn't ashamed to ask, because all the way up until like high school, it was people would be like, "Candace is so innocent," because I just didn't know. I didn't know, and I would ask them. I'd be like, "What are y'all talking about?" Like, I hear this all the time. What does this mean? And they'll be like, "Oh, this means da 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 da," and I'll be like, "Don't touch me no more." So that's kind of how that went for me, because I would be like, oh, this, oh, oh.
I think I was uncomfortable when my parents talked about it because they were visibly uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So I was like, maybe I need to be uncomfortable, honey, because this is not, honey, you so uncomfortable till I feel like now I need to be uncomfortable. So I was like, and then I think I had questions too, but I was like, honey, I don't want this uncomfortability to continue to last. So let's just end it. You know, and I figured out sometimes, and I was saying my mom did not let me do the sex ed in school. But I mean, do you think that was a wise decision? Like, I mean, I guess, you know, we can't.
Well, as an adult, you know, I've been on a journey to learn myself and learn more about
your parents and stuff.
Yeah, learn more about my parents. And even just learn stuff that I didn't know. There's plenty of books out there and research you can do on different topics. So why not? And I like to read. So with my parents, I oftentimes give them the grace of just knowing where they come from. Because when I think about where they come from and how they grew up, lots of topics are very taboo. You just don't talk about it. If it's a little kid in the room with grown folks talking, get out of here, this grown folks business. You weren't privy or had access to that information. And don't dare ask your grandma or grandpa about it. They'd be like, just don't have no babies. My grandma, she used to say, keep a Coke bottle top between your knees. And that was sex education. As long as you keep it there, you ain't gonna get pregnant. So,
honey, she did not keep it there.
She got 11 children.
Thank you. And she do the bottle top and she do it far away.
Yeah. But again, it's like they knew stuff and they knew info to share, but it was just like, oh, because how they grew up. So just growing up with people who just really don't communicate well. It's like, how do you expect our parents to communicate that well to us, given how they grew up? Now, I feel like if we ever had kids, and please don't let me have a child, but if we ever had kids, I feel like that conversation will be different because we're so, you know, we're learning in our adult age at how important it is to talk about everything.
Yeah.
How important it is to talk about sex, how important it is to talk about your feelings, how important it is to express your feelings, how important it is to ask questions and get an answer. Just, it's more information, more knowledge on how important these things are, to where I feel like it would be different for kids growing. Maybe this generation will be a little different. I do feel like it's still a lot of generational issues with even our generation, but I feel like more of us are taking the opportunity to choose to do something different. Like, we're getting there. We're learning about ourselves, even if it's later on in life. I mean, you can learn when you're 90-some years old
about
you
yourself.
Learn something new.
Yeah.
So I feel like because of that, this generation coming up next may be a little more open to the discussion with their kids.
I hope so. I think, honestly though, I think that my parents did not want me to do sex ed at school with the, you know, how the coaches, you know, they had a little sex ed classes. I honestly think that they should have, because not letting me do the class did not shelter me from anything.
No. And same. It's like you're exposed to,
because you still go to school with these same kids,
and you're exposed to it, and you see people who are pregnant, and you'll be like, how did I get pregnant? Like, you don't know anything. Like, how does this work? So I do feel like, but even with that, oftentimes I feel like sex ed, depending on the teacher, it explain things, but you still be like, but what? So I don't know. I feel like it would have been at least an idea of knowing how someone winds up knocked up.
Or even just STDs.
Yeah, STDs.
Because I never knew about STD until I became a nurse.
Same. Like, well, my curious brain, again, I was real curious in research stuff. And, you know, in Carta on the computer or encyclopedias or whatever, I would be like, okay, what is so-and-so said this? Let me see what this word means. And I'll dig to try and find it. And I'll be like, oh, that's gross. So it was a lot that I was like, oh, this is gross.
Yeah. But I mean, I would have been messed up though, like, because I didn't know, and even just that basic fact of like, STD is, how does it look like? How do you get it? Like, my mom and them never discuss STDs.
Yeah.
So that would have been something useful to discuss.
Yeah, just to know.
Mm-hmm.
And even with that, I feel like just in recent years, people are understanding STDs, STIs, even with like HIV and AIDS. At one point, people thought, oh, saying I got HIV and Shonda right here, she's gonna catch it. So it's like it's not even like that. Honestly, say I had it, I don't got it. Let me clarify. I don't have it.
I ain't got it.
I don't have it at all. Never had. But say if I was that person and Shonda is a healthy person, what it means is Shonda will be more dangerous to me, because my immune system is compromised.
Mm-hmm.
But that clarification was not given to people back in the day, so it was just like a panic, like, oh my gosh, yeah, get away from me.
Mm-hmm.
Don't even sit on my couch. You're gonna contaminate.
Right. Don't drink no water. Don't drink nothing.
Right.
Get a solo cup and take it with you when you leave.
Yeah. And it's not even like that. So I feel like even though people went to those classes or whatever, they still was very uneducated on different things.
No real sex education. Yeah.
Because people didn't know. I mean, honestly, just now, just on women anatomy, people are learning what our different parts are. And even both of us work in the medical field, we still encounter people who are totally clueless on their own anatomy.
At least get a mirror, sis. You get a mirror, just, oh, okay.
They are completely clueless on what stuff is, even where you pee from.
Yes.
So I'm just like, it's frustrating. And I think we know, because again, both of us in the medical field, we went to school for stuff like this and you learn about it. But if you don't,
I would still be curious though, especially being an adult. It's like, okay, I gotta know what she has.
I think it's good to learn your own body and just know how to, so if something look wrong, you can be like, this ain't right.
There's a problem.
Something's wrong. I have a tumor, or I'm sick, or
I mean, we don't jump to tumors.
I mean, I don't know. Child, just a worst. I'm worst case scenario line.
So what's the you was a teenager when your parents first talked to you?
No, I was younger when they attempted to first talk to me, and I was like, oh, I'm too little.
And then they did again when you was like a teenager.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember. I don't remember how old I was. I want to say, because my sister was a little bit older than me, but I think I want to say I was probably like 12 or 13. Because I think I had just like started my menstrual cycle.
Now that
did your mom talk to you and prepare you for that?
Yes. And it was, when I think about it, I was like, it was a very sweet conversation.
Oh, that's so nice.
Because my mom, she explained, it kind of had happened when I think I was in summer school or whatever, and it was a mess. Like, it looked like, everywhere. So when I got home, I had like, I remember even what I had on. I had on overalls and stuff, and they got murdered.
Literally,
it was like a blood scene. It was so bad. So mama, she just explained, what I would need and how stuff worked. And like she showed me how a tampon. I think she had like put in some water or something to show me how it absorbs. And explain how to use a tampon, and if your flow is heavier, which unfortunately mine was as a kid. Every cycle I was like, I'm dying because it was so big, corpse a lot. Yes, oh my god, it was so much. I was like, you this little 12-year-old, this little kid. I was this big, so I barely had meat on my bones, and I'm bleeding to death. It was like every month I was like I'm just fading away. So my mom had to explain to me like, okay, if you're on the heavier end, this is what you need. You may have to use 2 things, which I did. It was like you had to have this big old diaper of a pad and tampons, and it still was just like, oh, I'm dying. So I had to deal with that. So she was super sweet about it. And even my dad, he was in on that discussion too. And he was just like, you can call me if like you ever need me to get something from the store, or like say you in the bathroom, you just, mama ain't home and you need something, just holler and I'll bring it to you. Mm-hmm. So they made me feel really comfortable as far as my cycle go. Because it was seriously, it looked like somebody had got shot. It was blood everywhere.
That's nice. My mom never really talked to us about it. Well, I remember we was out of town. My sister was almost a year and a half older than me. We was out of town, and my sister got real sick. Like, she started throwing up, and she said her stomach was hurting, and just like, we was like, is this we thought it was a stomach virus. Because we went to eat and then came back home and my sister got sick. I got back to the hotel. My sister got sick. She was throwing up. She was stomach hurt. So my mom was like, it's just a stomach virus. So my mom had went to the store, got some Pepto-Bismol. That was just stomach virus. And yeah, honey, ginger ale don't do nothing. So, my sister just kept on it, just like sick, just super sick. She said she was feeling so weak. And so my mom was like, we gotta take her to the doggone hospital, because like she just kept on. So finally started feeling a little bit better, to the point where she can go sleep. We went to sleep, honey, woke up, and the bed was just like, my mom was like, it's kind of scared her at first, but then my mom kind of realized like, oh, her cycle started. And we realized that she was so sick. It was so weird. It's like she was so sick because the cycle was on. And so from that time on, like every time my sister, her cycle on, like she would throw up. Like probably like one time, maybe twice. And then, her cycle would start. It was just like a thing for her. So me being younger, I never thought, I guess for some reason thought like, oh, this is how it starts.
Oh, you thought you was going to be sick?
I thought it was going to be sick. Like, okay, this is how it starts. So, just time went on. Never started, never got sick. And then I just woke up one day and it was just like, what's all this? what's going on with me? And I never got sick. And so it was just so weird. And
so you just seeing your sister, you thought, okay, this is how it's supposed to start. I'll know. Because I'm going to throw up and
just be weak and stomach hurt. Like, this is how it's going to be for me. Because my sister did like that. And it was completely different experiences. Completely different. So I never really talked. Like, she talked to my sister, but I was like, that's her, honey. Because my sister was older than me, so I was like, I said you probably got another 2 years for mine. Honey, what's the problem me listening to this?
She's like, I'm for real. I don't need to hear this.
I'm good. I was more worried about training bras than I was anything. I just wanted to wear a little training bra. I was so excited to wear one. I was excited to wear one. Hey, my mama, I think she let me just wear it because I really didn't need it. She just like, just go ahead and put this on, honey, because you just about to have
a condition.
And I was so excited. So excited.
That is so funny. You know what's so crazy though? And see, here's another thing with just studies and research, and people we're still learning about it even to this day, how women's cycles are. Mm-hmm. And it's this world that we live in. It's just like, if men had a period, it would be completely changed. Like, but we have to be bleeding to death while our stomach's cramping. While we got headaches.
If men had to have periods and have children, honey, it would be 2 people left on earth.
It would be different. I think it would be more understanding, for one, mm-hmm. because with us, we're expected to, when our cycle's on, we're expected to go to work and act like everything is normal. Mm-hmm. Don't even talk about it. You can't have a bad day.
You can't have an attitude.
You can't have an attitude when your hormones out of whack and you more on edge around that time. But mm-hmm. you don't you dare have an attitude.
Can it be normal?
Your stomach hurt? Who cares? Go move something. Right, like. You're bleeding to death and you feel weak. Girl, go to work.
Put a cork in it, Becky, and go to work.
Yes. It's like no understanding if people, because people, if you don't, it's hard to understand if you never experience. So I feel like oftentimes with guys is hard to understand them. But I was listening, y'all know I love listening to some podcasts.
Oh Lord,
that's why I wanted to do this. But anyways, I was listening to a podcast and they were just talking about how if men paid attention to women cycle all the way through, not just when they're bleeding, they would be a lot more. It would be a happy whole because our hormone levels will be up, then they'll be down, and then they'll bottom out, and then they'll feel certain ways. So even I think it was talking about arguments and how if you keep track of when your spouse or partner cycle is finna come on, you can know, okay,
tread lightly.
You can tread lightly. You can be nicer. You can be more comforting. You can, and it's not just, oh, let me get you chocolate and food. Although that always
it may work.
That always
now
works.
You try that, you may be pretty good.
But they were just saying that just around certain times, even before the cycle actually starts, be more nicer.
Even if you say you okay, like you be like,
you okay? What you need? How I can take a foot rub or just attention around this time frame.
Right.
It can help. And even before then, they were saying for the dudes, this will help you out because I can't remember what levels it is, be higher before the cycle starts. So she be more in the mood. So if you paid attention to everything, it'll work in your favor.
A happy home.
A happy home. So it's just people, guys, you got to pay attention and learn.
Ladies, vocalize your needs.
Yeah, and ladies, vocalize your needs. I think as women, we learn even with that conversation with sex and with
let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good. Okay. Anyways, salt and pepper. Look it up. But yeah, if that conversation wasn't so taboo,
then I feel like more people will be more comfortable because you'll just talk about. You'll be able to talk to your spouse. Because I know women even to this day, and I know men to this day who be like, I don't want to hear about that. That's nasty. And I'm just like, but it's life.
It's normal.
It's normal. Everybody deal with this. Even down to what's the guy who be on that show with Ocho Cinco?
Shannon Sharp.
Him. He was saying that he don't even want his spouse to fart around him. Like she need to get up and go way to another room and to pass gas. And I'm just like,
Shannon Sharp. Yeah. That's.
So I'm pretty sure him and his wife never talked about stuff like that. They never talked about.
He's not married though.
Oh, well, I'm pretty sure he ain't never had those conversations with any women in his life. Because if you so that uncomfortable with someone fighting around you, especially someone you're supposed to be close to, can you only imagine if you be like, oh, my period on? He probably be like, oh, I want to hear that.
Yeah.
Don't tell me nothing about it. So it's just, to me, that's ridiculous. You should be able to have those conversations. That's why we're having this conversation. Because it shouldn't be a taboo topic. It should be just something that all of us deal with this. All of us go through
and
this.
And be okay with talking about it.
And be okay with talking about it. And we should be okay with expressing our needs. It shouldn't be an uncomfortable conversation. Be like, hey, I need this. Or, I don't know this about sex. Let me, now be careful about how you research. Because Google is sending you down the wrong rabbit hole.
Get it from a trusted medical personnel.
Like, ask your OB.
Because they'll be, or your primary,
your phone be all messed up trying to educate yourself, but you done researched the wrong way.
Honey, they'll sit and tell you that there ain't no such thing as STDs. And honey, next thing you be, honey, in a bad way.
Dr. Google is
not a doctor.
It's not a doctor. So in your research, just be careful.
Yes.
Be careful.
Yes.
Use reliable sources. Don't just go off of, this person's saying something that fits what I want to hear. and jump on that train. No, that's never
it's the wrong train. It's like going to where you're trying to get it.
Right.
Thank y'all for joining us today for our Love Lazy Day conversation.
Lazy Day.
We hope you enjoyed it. If you have any comments, please drop it below. We'll see you guys.
Tell us, was that conversation uncomfortable with you and your parents? Did they talk to you about it? Did you have to find out from other sources? Did you do your own research? Let us know down below in the comments.
See y'all next time. Bye.